This afternoon, let's explore the 33rd quatrain of the Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi. This is the Lama you are looking for. This afternoon, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars, and you wish to meditate as transformatively as Obi-Wan Kenobi upon the toasty sands of Tatooine, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. If at any time during this afternoon's live stream you have a question about meditation or philosophy or even chanting, there's no need to be shy. Simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. This is the 33rd passage or quatrain of the Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. View meditation and action virtuous in the beginning, middle, and end. This is thought by many to be the final meditation manual of Dzogchen Trul Rinpoche, a great Tibetan yogi from the 1800s. This was translated into English by the Padmakara group. It has been adapted and amplified by yours truly. As thoughts on the two obscurations of dread and desire, all pacified experience and realization increase. As your competitive and clinging perceptions come under control, enemies and obstructing influences are subjugated. Replacing competition with cooperation transforms enemies into friends, i.e., I destroy my enemies by making them my friends, according to Abraham Lincoln. By letting go of our reactions to obstructions, they are transformed into assets on the path. It is our devotion to the similes of this enlightened octave known as Chenrezig that bestows in this very life the supreme and common siddhis. So siddhi could be translated as attainment. So the common siddhis are just basically parlor tricks. Supreme siddhi would be enlightenment. What is enlightenment? Nothing less than the mastery of the Eightfold Path. What do we mean by mastery? When we're enlightened, we know we're enlightened when we practice the Eightfold Path spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. As the four activities are accomplished by themselves, recite the six-syllable mantra. So what this passage is inferring is that by bringing the contemplations of love and letting go into the path of mantra recitation, we will soon and very soon accomplish the path. I look forward to chanting, but first I shall subject you to a 1 minute of housekeeping. It is my aim to broadcast 4 classes daily without any ads other than this. With your help, this channel could come to support the next generation of nuns, monks, yogis, lamas, and even brick-and-mortar meditation centers, each replete with a resident teacher and their apprentice. If this sounds good to you and you'd like to help out, even for as little as the cost of 1 cup of coffee a month, simply use your smartphone's camera to capture this QR code, or click one of the donation links in the description area below the video. Excuse me. One moment, I must honk my horn. Excuse me. For this afternoon's preliminary practice, also known as Ngondro, we will train in empathy and enthusiasm by chanting the recitations of bodhicitta and refuge. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. Let's begin. So we come now to mantra meditation, and we begin by reviewing the meaning of the mantra. Please chant with me. Om, I invoke the wish-fulfilling Mani jewel of love and the purifying baby lotus of letting go, supplicating with whom may love and letting go be mastered by all. Let's take a moment to think deeply about this photograph of a Buddhist statue. It depicts an individual known in Sanskrit as Avalokiteshvara, which translates into English as he who notices the world's sorrows. This same figure is known in Tibetan as kind eyes or kind gaze, which translates, yes, there you go. Well, that's the English translation. I got myself confused. Let's try that again. In Tibet, this figure is known as Chain Rei Zig. Ha! That can translate as either kind gaze or kind eyes. The iconography of this yadam, or archetype of enlightenment, functions to organize the 8 figures of speech necessary for deeply transformative mantra contemplation. We're going to begin now with love and letting go, which is known by many names, such as Tantra Mahamudra. We're going to start with love's right wishes, with which we can leapfrog over our competitive tendencies. Let me make sure the display is still synchronized. Excellent. Now, the key to really making the most, or getting the most, out of mantra meditation is as follows. During the in-breath, we mentally recite a loving intention. During the exhalation, while we are chanting the mantra, we choose to relax as best we can. Now, this is as concise as it is cryptic. But don't worry, we flesh it out by first exploring it in 4 lines. May all the minds of all beings now be as peaceful and wise as a Buddha's mind, symbolized by a one-syllable mantra known as a Zero Bija mantra. Om mani mimi hung, om mani mimi hung, om mani mimi hung, om mani mimi hung. Om mani bimi hung, om mani bimi hung, om mani bimi hung, om mani bimi hung. Om mani bimi hung, om mani bimi hung, om mani bimi hung, om mani bimi hung. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi yung om mani pimi hum. May all relationships of all beings know me as joyful and loving, as the Buddha's communication symbolized by the six-syllable mantra. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. May whole bodies of all beings know and enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist art, of the blissful body of a yidam of lore and archetype of enlightenment. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. May all circumstances of all beings know me as safe and fortunate, as the Buddha's paradise, pure land, all party of Lord. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. Om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani mimi yung om mani pimi hum. We switch gear from love to letting go's right view of reality. Now, there's a good chance the display is no longer synchronized, so I'll check on that right now. These next 4 contemplations could help us to leapfrog over our clinging tendencies. How is it that as we inhale, our circumstances could appear quite vivid? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a cloudless sky or a vati of light. Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme ungomani peme Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme How is it that as we inhale our bodies could feel quite sensual? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void or a atom of light. Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme Omani mimi ungomani peme ungomani peme ungomani peme Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme ungomani peme Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme How is it that as we inhale the interpersonal experience of communication could be quite resounding? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as non-graspable as a cloudless sky or a mantra of light. Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme 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 How is it that as we inhale we could perceive our mind's functions quite clearly? Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void or a bisha of light. Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme Omani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani mimi ungomani peme Umani mimi hung umani mimi hung umani mimi hung umani mimi hung. Umani mimi hung umani mimi hung umani mimi hung umani mimi hung. This concludes the mantra recitation portion of this afternoon's practice. We now turn to the practice of silent contemplations. We're going to bring circumstance into the path of impermanence and interdependence. We're going to use the verb melt as a metaphor of impermanence, the contemplation of which could help us to leapfrog over our clinging tendencies. We're going to use this inference of absorption as a metaphor of interdependence, one thing affecting another, as a metaphor of interdependence whose contemplation could help us to leapfrog over our competitive tendencies. So here are the silent instructions, which ironically are verbal. As we breathe in, we can mentally recite how lots melt. As we breathe out, we can silently and mentally recite into form. Do notice this is a rhetorical question, so we do not get extra points for either blind faith or skullduggery. We do not get points for visualizing or believing or emoting. That's just greasy kid stuff. Silently and mentally recite these words in harmony with your inhalation and your exhalation and your relaxation, and you will make progress on the path. We're going to shift gears from the circumstantial to the physical. Let's shift gears to the interpersonal. And now let's shift gears into the mental. We shift gears now from silent contemplation to silent meditation. We're going to play with two silent meditations. The first one is the union of bliss and letting go, which is also known as Bindu Mahamudra or Essence Mahamudra. As we breathe in, we're going to feel the play of sensation wherever it is in our body. It may be in our heart, it may be elsewhere, it may be blissful, it may be yucky. It may be coarse, it may be subtle, it may be warm, it may be cold. During each out-breath, we're going to relax into sensations' non-graspable nature. Well, that's lovely. How do you do that? During each inhalation, we silently and mentally recite seed, free, bliss. During each now, how does this work? Every inhalation is wired to access our sympathetic nervous system, which evolved for sensory acuity, for us to notice things vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. Well, that's lovely, but what do we do with all the stuff we notice? During each exhalation, we physically relax as we mentally recite relaxing. For exhalation is wired to our parasympathetic nervous system, which evolved for both physical relaxation and mental release. So let's sit nice and tall. Fold your hands in your lap, palms up. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Let's meditate. Again, it's not our job to visualize or emote or believe or think or not think. Play with these words silently and mentally in harmony with your inhalation, exhalation, and relaxation. And now we turn to the second meditation, awareness and letting go, which is also known as Sutra Mahamudra. We're going to watch the play of mind as we breathe in, while mentally reciting "Notice this." And we're going to relax into mind's non-graspable nature as we breathe out while mentally reciting "Relaxing." And for the next, and now let us contemplate love. Let us contemplate giving others joy. Let us contemplate giving others health. Now let us contemplate giving others good luck, good fortune, safety. Let us lovingly wish that all beings master the Eightfold Path and universal liberation. May I, like kind gaze, master the Eightfold Path as well as liberate others. Let us contemplate ethics. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness flow spontaneous and uncontrived. And now let us contemplate impermanent zeal and love. May each being take auspicious rebirth, master the Buddha's path, and then help others do likewise. And finally, let us contemplate the four immeasurables. May everyone be free from stress, may everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel I have earned it, type something in the chat window, give this live stream a thumbs up, and share this on social media. In approximately 3 1/3 hours, I would very much like to return for tonight's evening meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.